Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It is Tuesday, and it's the day I promised I'd show you guys my personal Six Samurai deck. I've been playing around with this. We started play testing proxies and stuff right before the Rage of the Abyss actually released, and I've been playing this ever since release. And so far, like I've topped all but one of the local type events that I went to. And I actually pulled a few wins out of there. So not too bad. 42 card main deck, 15 card extra deck. Side deck's always a surprise because it's advanced format. I'm never going to give you guys that because that's going to basically going to focus on whatever your meta is in your area, and it may be different than mine. So just real quick, let's get you guys the list, right? So the first thing I'm doing is I'm running 3 copies of the brand new Anarchist because again, the new 2 guys are just awesome. 3-star Dark Tuner Warrior, 500 attack. If you control a samurai other than same name, you may special summon this. This is once per turn summon this way. Use each of the following effects once per, or use each of the following effects once per turn. If sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 samurai quick play from the deck to the hand, and a samurai monster synchro summoned with this card gains the following effect. The levels of all monsters the opponent controlled become reduced by 1. Now, unassuming little old man card, but if anime has taught me anything, old men will whoop you if you do not pay them the appropriate amount of respect. Now, Anarchist is going to be able to make our quick play spell cards that are samurai spells searchable, which is amazing because one of the old cards, Cunning, comes back in a big way because of this. And asceticism is searchable because of this. And you also have the new spell too. It's also really good. But you're going to mess with your opponent's levels. Now, that doesn't seem like that's a big deal until you remember, like, Synchro is algebra. And if they can't exease, they can't overlay their cards into what they wanted to, because their deck is made to make just 4s. Now they're all 3s, but they don't have any rank 3s. Like, they've got to deal with that monster now some other way than just straight up maybe going into the cards that would have done it right away. So again, it's a perfect addition to an already great archetype. Next, we're going to use like the OG guy. We're going to grab a Grandmaster. You guys should know how this works. You can only control one of these. If there's a different name on the field, you can special summon. If he gets destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 Six Samurai monster from the graveyard back to the hand. He can cycle self. One other card that's super great now. It's always been great, let's be honest. The original Great Shogun Shien. This guy, if you had 2 samurai, he's a free summon. He's a quick special on 7. Additionally, he only lets your opponent resolve 1 spell or trap in a round. However, one of the things that had to be ruled early on was L6 Shien or Solemn Judgment or anything. If the opponent goes to play a spell and it gets countered, that's not their one that resolves. So they still get to try one. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people sleep on this guy. I've been playing him since day 1 because I love him. Another one of the good ones, L6 Kageki. Kageki's always been great. He's going to give you that Captain-esque effect. When normal summoned, you get to special summon a level 4 lower Sam from hand. Control a face-up. If you have another face-up Sam with a different name than Kageki, this guy jumps by 1,500 points, turning himself into a 17. There used to be this whole deal where you'd use Shadow Shien, and because Shadow Shien changes the base from 2 to 2k, that extra 15 gets reapplied after the fact, making this dude like a 3,500 whoop stick on his own, which makes sense because this dude definitely wants to be like Zoro because he's got the 4-sword style going on. Yeah, just awesome. But again, it's good for starting and extending play. Another workhorse in this deck is going to be the L6 Kazan. This is actually Grandmaster when he's younger. As long as you control a Six Samurai monster with a different name than Kazan, you can special summon these as many times as you want during your turn. And then as long as you have 2 or more other Six Samurai monsters, this card will get up to the Grandmaster stats by gaining that extra 300 attack and defense. So again, really good card. We're going to use 1 Mizuho and 1 Shinai. And I can already hear this. You need to use 1 more. You need to have 2 of one of them so that you can go red-blue. You're going to have 2 red, 1 blue. Guys, I'm not using it for the red-blue. We don't want to go infinite, even though you could go infinite. It's something that you can do. Consistency issues. I need you to think dojos, because we're going to be doing a ton of things that are going to be gaining Bushido counters. We want to have the most optimal things that are out gaining the Bushido counters. And because of that, we want to maximize this. So like we can go off of Hatsume with this for the asceticism. There's another one that was 1600 if I'm not too mistaken. Up in this lineup maybe. I might be mistaken. It might be another one I'm thinking in general. But between this and Hatsume, that's going to be like one of your quick pokes with the asceticism play. And again, it's a matter of the extension. Don't worry about the infinite. The infinite has problems with it, just like everything else does. And I don't want you guys getting lost in the plays. This has been working. This is proven to work. 1-1. When one of them's out, the other one special summons. They also get their own effects, where she can pop a card by sacking somebody. And if he gets attributed, you get to pull somebody else back from your discard pile. It's a quick extension. Womban, get into one of these after you spot destroy something, and like it's a whole thing. We're using Fuma at 1, mostly because 1-star tuner. Rest of the effect, if destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a samurai from your deck with a different name, which is also very good. If exactly 1 samurai monster you control and no other cards will be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this from the graveyard instead. So again, he's got a little bit of a little spot control-ish. He's going to be a little bit of a protection. That's what the Secret Six were all focused about. It's great support. And it's fun to thematically play some ninjas in with your samurai. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's in here mostly for the 1-star tuner. We're going to have that Hatsume. Like I said, you can banish 2 Sam from the grave and or face up. Target 1 in the graveyard. Special summon it back. Use that only once per turn. And again, the same thing. Though, if only 1 would be destroyed by something, she may go. We're going to use 2 copies Secret Kizaru. Again, another powerful card at 19. When this is special summoned, you can add 1 card. Add from your deck. You can add from your deck to your hand 1/6 samurai with a different attribute for every monster. From every monster that you currently control. If exactly 1/6 samurai you control and no others would be destroyed, you may banish them instead. Again, they kind of do the whole kaleidoscope out as far as their abilities here. And the usual way that we're going to get into that is we're going to get off the Kageki. So it's going to be a quick 1/2. So Earth and Wind will be out. But you'll be able to stack the hand with other cards. Another good one is a single Sheehan Squire. I put this guy in here for 2 reasons. One, I didn't exactly need a 4th protection card, so there was no reason for another Fuma. I wanted him because Earth Tuner. Believe this or not, Earth is very important to me in this deck because Notoria Beast is super easy to get into. And this guy's semi-searchable on occasion and can be looped. But basically, if a 6 samurai monster you control battles, during damage calculation, you can send this from the hand to the graveyard. The monster cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. It is another save in that way without having to banish. And when we go over the gateway, you guys will kind of understand why I wanted him in here. And then we are going to use one more. We're going to use the Tactical Trainer of the 6 Sam. This is the other new tuner. You'll notice also Earth. If you control a samurai other than this name, you may special summon it from the hand. That special summon is once per turn this way. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If sent from the field to the graveyard, you may add a 6 strike card from the deck or the graveyard back to your hand. And a 6 samurai monster that was synchro summoned using this card gains the following effect, that your opponent's monsters lose 500. Now that's something. It shows a bit of training. It feeds into like the whole thematics of this is the trainer. It's showing how you're not as strong as you think you are when you're facing somebody who's properly prepared. It is cool. I do appreciate that you can't use the anarchist and the trainer at the same time for the same monster to get into stuff. That's cool. But you will notice that there is a bunch of Earth in this deck. So there's a lot of ways for us to try to get into our Notoria Beast and or our other plays. Moving forward to spells, single copy of Asceticism. Again, you get to special summon by targeting one of your samurai, looking at its attack value, finding another one with a different name, same attack. The one that you selected initially will be destroyed at the end of the turn. However, you will have the opportunity to link or synchronize out of that without having to take the loss. We're going to go with the Call by the Grave. And the reason we want that is that's going to help us combat the hand traps. And as long as we're combating the hand traps, we should be able to play through stuff. Like I said, we get to play Cunning again. Cunning is super good. What you do is send a face-up samurai that you control to the graveyard, then target a 6 samurai in either player's graveyard, special summon that target. This allows us to blink cards as a form of protection. If your opponent has targeted something for like a destruction, you just blink it out real quick, bring it back. And when we get to the extra deck, the new Shien really benefits from this as well. Next up, you are going to play 3 copies Forbidden Droplet. You guys get this. This is tech. Gateway, I need you to look at this. This gets 2 Bushido counters every summon or special summon or normal summon of a 6 samurai card or cards. This gets 2 counters. You may remove the counters, though, from anywhere on your side of the field. This is important to know. For 2 counters, somebody gets a buff of 500 points. For 4 counters, the most used effect, you get to add a samurai from the deck or grave back to the hand. And for 6 counters, you can target a Shien effect monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So this allows us to recycle things like the my little squire dude, and our great shogun. Now, the reason thinking about that is I was trying to think ahead to what happens if we mill things with our beast. Okay, and it's just incredible. It's a great effect. You are going to use the 1 reinforcement of the army. No, you do not need an original first edition to do that. You play the one that you guys have. You will play 3 dojos. Dojos gain and accumulate their counters every time a samurai are played. And then you may sack this card to go ahead and special summon a samurai or Shien monster. That's important. That is at or less than the number of counters to their star level. So if this has got 5 counters on it, you cannot play the Great Shogun or whatever. But if you wanted to, you could play most of the 6 samurai, including the Grandmaster, I think, because that should be 5. Yeah. So, it's just a good way of spawning. Like I said, this is what I use to bring out red and blue. I just use them as an extension. I'm not trying to go infinite. Could you? Yes. Do I? No. 3 smoke signals. Again, a good majority, including the new guys, are all 3 stars and lower. There's very few that the smoke signal will not search out. But again, it's a good typed search. And this one's going to make people mad too. I'm only running 2 Unites. It's already a 42 card deck. This is so that I had just a couple more cards that I could place some counters on. And if you want to go up to 43, go ahead, just add another copy. I'm not going to shame you on this, but I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna educate you why my decision was this. Next, we're gonna use the new Double Assault, and so it's a 6 strike, so it's searchable through 1. It's a quick play samurai card, but it's not technically, so we have to use it off the guy that gets the strikes. The effect, apply one of the following effects, or if you control 2 or more samurai, you may do both in sequence, meaning go from top to bottom. First effect, special summon a 6 samurai with 2k or less attack from hand or grave. This is great. Or change 1 monster your opponent controls with 2k or less to face down defense. Either way, this is pretty awesome. During the main phase, you can choose to banish this from your graveyard, target a 6 samurai monster in the graveyard, add that to your hand. Use each effect. You can only use 1 per turn and only 1 set turn. So again, limiting it to 1, it is searchable. This makes sense. Now the reason for the Sam Unites. I'm playing 2 talents. And if you guys read the top effect, we get to draw 2 cards. You guys should be fairly, in the know about how this one works by now. Sam Unite, I'm not really doing it to do the draw 2. I'm looking at it as I've got 6 cards that hold counters, and this one only holds a max of 2. So whenever I'm doing gateway plays, I need to make sure that the counters are always coming off of these. And this way Dojo can just sit there and sack and stack. It is what it is. And my last card is a copy of the Angel statue Azarun, because I'm using Silhouette Rabbit. And the way this works, you special summon it as an effect monster once per turn. If your opponent would summon a monsters while this is in a monster zone, send to the graveyard one continuous trap in a monster zone. It was special summon from the spell trap zone. That's this one. Negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monsters. When this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle, you can destroy the monster that destroyed this. So it's got two modes of doing it. We're either setting this up as a trap. It's like, I know that you have to summon in order to play out of this, so I'm going to set this up and I'm going to block the important thing. Or I'm going to activate it and I'm just going to run it into the problem to get rid of the problem, guys. So it's just good tech. Real quick, screenshot, notes, whatever you guys got to do. I'm going to come right back with the extra deck in a second. All right, friends. So the extra deck, really easy. Part of it is tech, part of it is new stuff, and all of it is killer. So like one of the things is like 7's really easy to make. So like Dawn Dragster is kind of like a no duh option here. And the fact is we could just throw that thing up in defense mode. And if I'm not mistaken, this just says the Synchro Monster, not that it has to be a 6 Samurai Synchro Monster. So no, okay, it is just a 6 Samurai. So I never misplayed that, which is good. I was just seeing whether or not it tagged along and it was even better. It's not. It's still good. But Dawn Dragster does things. The new Inishi is kind of a boss. This dude's like a pretty sick 6-star. Warrior monsters you control gain 500 during the battle phase only, which is great. Especially if he's doing the minus 500 from the opponents as well. It creates a nice 1,000-point gap between you and your opponents. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can banish any number of 6 samurai in the graveyard, then target that many monsters your opponent controls, bounce them. So again, he is just an absolute menace to the opponent. And if this is sent to your graveyard, you could special summon one of those banished 6 samurai monsters. So again, he's just there for like the lulz. He's a good card. But he's not good enough to get 2 spots like our legendary Lord Shien. So this is the boss mode guy. Can we get that morsel of focus, please? Let's see it. Okay, maybe I won't. I'm just going to start reading it and it's going to focus. So, let's see. Just did it. If this card is synchro summoned, you can add 1 6 samurai or Shien effect monster from your deck or graveyard to hand. So again, this guy just continues loops. He's an extender all on his own. You can only use this effect once per turn. That's fine. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, this includes hand traps. Quick effect, negate it. If you do, destroy the card. So that's awesome. If this card on the field will be destroyed by card or battle, you can destroy 1 monster that you control instead. It does no longer need to be a 6 samurai. So again, he's just boss. This is the thing that you want to go into first. This is the reason why we play 2 Cunning. You can phase them in and out real quick. You can go through 2 hand traps this way because that hand trap effect is a soft once per turn. The initial one where he grabs something is the hard once per turn. So just make sure that you're playing the gimmick right. We're going to play one of the original L6 Shien where we're just going ahead and saying yay or nay to that 1 spell trap per turn. And as again, you'll see, if he would be destroyed, you can destroy another face-up 6 samurai monster you control instead. Now, we can get rid of that Dawn Dragster instead for the new one. Like I said, he kind of grew up. My usual second play right now is actually Naturia Beast. Again, we've got so much earth, there's no reason not to be doing this. During either player's turn, when a spell is activated, you can send the top 2 from your deck to the discard to negate and destroy. This card must remain face-up on the field to activate and resolve. So yeah, you just go and say no to hand traps and then no to all spells and basically profit. That's basically how this deck works. I run 1 Xyz right now. I'm running Dugaris. Again, he's got modular. He's got some sweet effects. Going into links, I'm using Access Code Talker as one of my bosses. I'm using a single copy of the Battle Shogun of the 6. This is going to be 2 warriors, including a samurai. This is Link Summon. You may discard a card, add 1 card from the deck to the hand that has the effect of Bushido counters. So again, as long as you got 2 monsters, you have the ability to get Gateway, which is crazy. Use this effect only once per turn. It is hard once per turn. Each time a samurai monsters is normal or special summon to a zone this guy points to, place Bushido counter on him. he gains 100 points per Bushido counter on your side of the field. When I tell you I've gotten this guy over 3,000, I am not even kidding. It is very easy to do. And I know that the people that are like red, blue loop. Yes, it would make him nearly immortal, but like, no. We play him to get to the gateway. Because again, gateway's limited to 1. So I do use IP Masquerena. This helps me get into some of my plays on my opponent's turn. Going into Tech Link, I am using 1 copy of Phoenix. I am using 1 copy of Unicorn. These guys do what you want them to do. We're able to get so many different names that Saryuja Skeldred absolutely works well in this deck. And then, of course, you can get all of these effects. You get all the things where, like, all your cards go up 300. You create more imbalance. Or you get the 3+. In addition, then you also get the ones per turn during the main phase. You get an extra special summon from your hand, which, again, helps you with your expansion of your plays and building your board. And then the 4th one, when this is Link Summon, you get to draw 4 and place 3 back on the bottom. That is the strongest effect of Saryuja. So just know this guy is always live in this deck. 1 Scylla Hat. And again, this is basically to go ahead and set the Azarin. And then I'll play off of it the next round. It's fine. And then last but not least, I use Underworld Goddess. Mostly because I can go ahead and take care of my opponent's monster with this. IP lets me do that during the opponent's turn. So that's all ready to... I basically just need 2 other monsters on my side of the field because we're going to snap 1 from my opponent's side of the field. And yeah, that's what you do, guys. That's it. That is what I've been playing. That's what I've been winning with. And I'll probably be playing this for at least another month or 2. Depending on how the meta decides to shift. If we get anything else that's like really good, or like I obtain anything that's really good. Like I've started looking into this card Zealantis. I'm thinking I might want to start saving up for it. I'm not sure how much it is, but I kept seeing it on tables, so obviously it must be good. This is it, guys. I hope that you enjoy my deck and go win your locals with it. All right. Until next time, my friends, like, comment, sub, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Later.